Hello, my name is Ali Major, and I'm here today to talk to you about a new product that I'm making. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed guests, and fellow creatives, today I stand before you with a vision to revolutionize the entertainment industry and redefine the very essence of talent and creativity. Welcome to the Innovative Nexus, where we dare to challenge the status quo, where we celebrate the unconventional, and where we champion the unprecedented voices in music and film. In a world dominated by Hollywood industry standards, where age, appearance, and conformity dictate the narrative, we refuse to be bound by these limitations. We believe that true talent shows no boundaries, no constraints, and no prejudices. At the Innovative Nexus, we are on a mission to unearth the raw, unfiltered talent that lies beyond the mainstream norms, wanting to be discovered and celebrated. Our platform is a sanctuary for the mavericks, the trailblazers, and the rule breakers in the world of entertainment. It is a stage where artists and filmmakers can defy conventions, push boundaries, and unleash their creativities without fear of judgment or rejection. Here, diversity is not just a buzzword, it is the very foundation which we build our creative community. As we embark on this journey together, I invite you to join us in this groundbreaking venture, where innovation meets inspiration, and where the unconventional becomes the new standard of excellence. Together, let us create a nexus of creativity, a hub of originality, and a beacon of hope for all those who dare to dream beyond the confines of the ordinary. Thank you for being a part of this momentous occasion. Together, let us prove and pave the way for a new era in entertainment, one where talent reigns supreme and creativity knows no bounds. Welcome to the Innovative Nexus. Welcome to a world where true talent shines bright. Thank you. I am Ali Major. I own a company called Seven Sun Entertainment, and I am steadily trying to change the world. And as you see, I have a show called The Gag-Order, and I invite you to watch, to like, subscribe, and share. I'm doing my thing, and we working together to change this industry. You have a wonderful time and enjoy the show. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. What up, Jinx?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the gag order.
Yes, the gag order in the building. Hey, so tonight, right? You see we're missing our two co-hosts. And I
Yeah.
believe Carlos will show up and I believe Tat's gonna show up too. But yet and still, they're gonna miss the intro to the show. Tonight we're gonna talk about desire, knowledge, or emotion. We're gonna separate these two.
Three.
Um, oh, excuse me,
Three.
these three, and talk about their impact on our lives, and discuss the importance and balance and moderation in utilizing these aspects effectively. So, right now, Jinx, I would like to introduce you and let you introduce yourself to the people. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
What's going on? I'm Jinx, and obviously, I'm a co host here on this wonderful podcast, The Gag Order. Hope y'all like, subscribe, share, etc. Join us weekly, Tuesdays, 9:30. We doing our thing, talking about things that people don't like to talk about, talking about the things that we need to talk about, trying to one by one reach people and teach people and help people because that's what we came for. And
Absolutely.
I'm not really doing the social media thing. I had an Instagram for a minute, but I deleted it because social media just be getting on my nerves. It really do. I can't right now. I can't do it. I mean, I'll be jumping on my personal Facebook every once in a while, but that's not for the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes people need things for themselves. And sometimes your life cannot be broadcasted. I mean, it makes you feel like you have nothing to yourself. And I understand you on that. I
Yeah, yeah.
understand you.
I mean,
But
it goes both ways. You got some people who want to post every moment of their life. Then you got other people who just scrolling through liking, sharing memes and shit like that. So I'm one of them meme sharers, and that's actually what brought us to tonight. Tonight's show is actually based off of a pretty well known quote from Plato, saying that human behavior flows from three main sources, which are desire, emotion, and knowledge. And I truly believe that holds true. But those three separate aspects, you could run a show on each one of them if we needed to. But tonight, I'm hoping that we can kind of see like which ones which ones flow through us the most often, and which ones flow the strongest, and which ones, in our own opinions, when we really sit back and look at ourselves, which ones really direct the flow of our movement the
Mm.
most,
Okay.
whether it be good or bad, whether you know what I mean, in
Okay.
every aspect. I
You
mean, you
going all
look at it
Gandhi on
like,
me tonight.
why not? Why not? No, but I mean, when you break down emotion, they always saying like men are logical and women are emotional, and that's how they try to always separate the two, and try to explain how the two different dynamics work together and against each other. But
Mm.
like when it comes to emotion, we all feel it. It's just how we process it and how we choose to share it or not share it that affects how we move.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. You surprising me. You're stinging me.
Well,
Ooh, you
well,
surprising me.
well.
Okay. So let's dive into this. Um, what is the significance of desire in decision making?
I mean, essentially, it shouldn't be at the forefront. It should be at the latter because, in my mind, a desire isn't a need, it's a want.
Mm. Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
yes, many people, I mean, the word desire is a strong feeling or wanting for something or for something to happen. And there are ways that we can move in order to make things happen for ourselves if that's what we want. But at the same time, like me myself, I personally think of desires as not something we need to always give into, but at the same time something that we should always strive for. Like I desire to go on a nice 2 week vacation. Like that's going to take some work. I got to put some work in to make that happen. It's not a need, it's a want.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to put money aside. I'm gonna have to make flight reservations and car reservations and childcare you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a desire of mine that I'm now gonna have to move in a certain way to obtain what I want.
Okay. Okay.
And in some ways, desires can be motivators, and in some ways, desires can be a hindrance.
I like that. I like that. I'm about to give you a story. I'm about to tell you about
Uh oh.
myself. I'm about to tell you about myself a little bit. Um,
All right.
Jinx, I have one desire right now. I have one desire, and for somebody to tell me that that desire is a want, not a need, is a lie to me. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you.
Break it
I'm
down.
gonna tell you that this desire that I want, the desire that I want, is the desire to be self sufficient, self stable, self owned. You know, I desire to have a relevant company that's competable against other top companies to sustain my mental health and my quality of life. I need this for me. I keep telling y'all on this show, I need this
Yeah,
for me. I need
I
it.
know. I
So
get that.
that desire that I have, that desire that you say is not necessary for me, that desire better not die. It better not burn out. Because if it burns out, then I'm going to regret life later.
I get that. I get that, and I'm not trying to dispute your point of view in any way, because it's our deepest desires that I don't want to say it creates a part of us, but like it is the desires that we have deep down, that is something that we want to achieve so badly, is something that's gonna drive you to overrule your emotions and to gain knowledge in order to obtain that.
Mhm.
So again, that brings in the emotion and the
I think
knowledge.
emotions I could do without. I think emotions I can just kill. We're gonna get to that in a second.
But
We're gonna get to that in a
at
second.
the same time, it's your deepest desire. Like this is the deepest desire that you want, and that's based off of your feelings. That's based off of the
Is it
core
though?
of
Is it based
yeah.
on my feelings, or if it's
Because
based off reality of life that I need to make this or have this in order to be successful, in order to not worry about bills or food or ever have to think about
certain
being
aspects
homeless?
of it, certain now look, if you even just look at your breakdown of the explanation of your
Yeah.
desires,
Uh-huh.
all you got to do is look like you saying you want to be able to do this, you need to be able to do this.
Okay.
So those are within the reasons and realms for those desires. Each of that is being based off of the knowledge of the fact that you ain't a dumbass, and you know you got to be able to do something that's making bread to be able to keep you financially comfortable. You know that there's things that you want to do to be able to help others in your life. You know that there's a reason behind each of it, and when you really look deep down, it links back to one or the other.
To one thing. One
Yeah.
thing. And I better not have emotion while I'm doing it. Because if I do, I'm going to ruin it. Because the internet is a
No,
nasty place.
that emotion can give you drive.
Yeah,
That emotion can give
but
you
yeah, that
drive
emotion can also cause you uh
to
heartbreak,
derail.
heart
Yeah.
fail, you know,
Oh,
to go
absolutely.
down. If I pay attention
Absolutely.
to emotion,
But that's when you gotta kick in with the knowledge. You gotta
true.
you
I
gotta
think
use your
knowledge
head.
comes
You gotta
first.
use your
Knowledge is
brain.
everything.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is king.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
believe that
I
wholeheartedly.
agree.
I believe knowledge comes from, or you get the desire from the knowledge. So that's what I think.
But regardless, those three things is just connected regardless. Because
Got you.
that's what that's what's flowing through you. That's what you you feel. That's what you exude. That's how it all moves.
True. I can go with you on some specs, but I did want to flip the scene and show
Mm.
that desire can be seen in a different light. What is wrong with the English vocabulary is that there's so many different variables between a word. So how is anybody going to have the same understanding of the word if there's so many variables to it?
I mean, when you break down desire. As a noun, it's a strong feeling of wanting or having, wishing for something. As a verb, is strongly wish for or want something. To want, there's many different ways to express desires.
Hmm.
There's many different ways for many different people are going to have different types of desires.
Hmm.
But
Do you know what an unchecked desire is?
mm,
Okay, an unchecked desire is a desire that has no forethought behind it. All right, it's just a desire, you want it. That's what you think you deserve, and you don't do anything to go forth towards it. It's unchecked. You did not check the boxes on how to get to it. You just
yeah,
wanted it. Most people do that in the hood when they hustling. They think they're gonna be kingpins and they selling, and they get locked up and the whole shit fuck up. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? A lot of niggas do that right there, and it just happens to be that way. Um,
But
one
again,
second.
like it breaks down to you got to have that knowledge too. What up, Tay?
What up?
Sorry, guys. I'm here through all the technical difficulties in life. Love y'all. What's up, Gag-Order? Man T in the building. You feel me? Sorry.
Yes.
Continue
Now
on.
give me a social right quick before you end that shit. Let's go.
So, look, man. It's your boy Tatman T. I'm everywhere. They never there, man. Y'all can see me everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms, whatever you have it. Tatman T. Tat with two T's. It's
That's
me. Yo, let's get it.
that's right.
Gag order.
Now Jinx, if you don't mind, can you catch T up to speed?
Yes,
Um,
yes.
yes.
Tonight we are talking about human behavior and essentially how human behavior flows from three main sources, which are desire, emotion, and knowledge. That was a pretty well-known quote from Plato, and I believe it to really hold true in life, and especially in human behavior. And we was touching on, you know, mainly we started with desire, and I was touching on emotion and knowledge, and we kind of talking about how
No,
they
we
all
didn't go
kind
that far yet. We ain't go that far
of.
yet. We're gonna keep them on the same plane. So
Oh,
Tat, the question was, what is the significance of desire in decision making? Did you mute yourself, brother? Did you? Yeah, you muted yourself.
My bad. I was saying that's not one you can just answer quickly. It's something you gotta think about because
Gotcha.
desire. A lot of people don't realize how much desire plays a part in things that they think they need versus what they want. See, desires are wants in a sense. They can coincide with needs, but in decision making, hmm, that's a tough one because it depends on the type of decision it is. Some decisions have a lot of desire in them. Some decisions you have to make and you have no desire to make it at all. So I say desire plays a big part in it, at least 50-50 or better. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd even go so far as to say 70-30 desire because
So
desire
desire is
is a
important.
tricky one.
Okay.
Desire is very important and it's
Okay.
tricky too because your desires will put you in some shit that you ain't never want to be in the first place.
That's right. So I don't have to give you my story. I don't have to give you my story, Jake. I gave Jinx my story, but I don't have to give you my story because my story is a deep one about desire and how desire is reality to me. It's not a want. It's a desire on. It's a quest on survival. It's a quest on how can I maintain. I had, if you deal with somebody who dropped out in the eighth grade, and you deal with somebody who sold drugs all their life and then went to prison for a long stretch of time, I'm just going to be honest about it. 401ks, Social Security, what the fuck they going to do with me? So what I'm
Type shit.
doing is high risk stock holding right now. I'm high risk, low risk stock holding right now. So that plays a major part in my desire because I know what it takes to survive inside society. This capitalistic, demonistic society that we have right here. I know what they require, and in order to require, you need that shit, or they're gonna downplay you and underput you.
but is
So
that decision based off of your desire, or is that decision based off of the knowledge you
yeah,
have
it's
of
based
that
off my
world?
knowledge. It can't all like I explained a couple minutes before Tat came in. All this derives from knowledge. Knowledge is the most important thing. It's the only thing that you do from birth to death. Is learn. That's the only thing you learn. You learn the birthing process. You learn the death process. You're learning the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So therefore, that's the only thing you carry on with you after here is knowledge. Something that is obtainable, but can't be taken from you ever. That's why some babies come back and you be like, oh, he got knowledge from some other
Yeah.
place. You see what I'm saying? And that's just how it be. All right, so let's get back on. T is caught up. Um, let's see. I want to discuss how unchecked desires can lead to negative outcomes. And if I spoke to you and asked you, Jinx, on do you know what unchecked desires are? And you said no. And if T, you don't know what unchecked desires are, you meet a lot of these people every day. These people are people who put no effort into what they're trying to accomplish, but desire to accomplish it all the time and say they will be, but do nothing. But either smoke weed, sit back in the hood, do this, do that, do this, do that, that. But
If something harmful or undesirable is left unchecked, nobody controls it or prevents it from growing or developing.
That's right. That's right. So all they're doing is talking about it. It's not growing. It's not developing. It's not doing nothing. So I want to talk about the importance, or excuse me, I said that wrong. I want to talk about how unchecked desires can lead to negative outcomes.
Mm. Unchecked desires can lead to negative outcomes. Whew, shit, that's like a slippery slope. Because if you got desires that are unchecked, based off what you just said, that shit can lead you in a whirlwind of that's like okay. I think I can sum it up by saying this. I always tell people that the longest distance between 2 points is a shortcut, right? And people be like, "Well, what you mean?" Because well, we know that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, but sometimes that line take your ass like all around the world and back. You feel me? But if you hit that shortcut is full of obstacles that you never accounted for. That's like unchecked desires.
Mm-hmm.
Unchecked desires to me, that's like unchecked desires because those bumps in the road where you going through that shortcut, you're gonna end up being like getting there like way later than what you should have been there if you had just went, the straight way. You know what I'm saying? Like followed the course the way that you should have followed the course.
Okay.
I don't know. Does that make any sense to y'all? What I'm saying?
I mean, I
Am
get
I am
what
I
you're
Jinx, fine.
saying. There's always things that's unaccounted for, unexpected, but essentially, like unchecked desires, or they have it's like a goal with no action. It's like a goal with no, like, you ain't plan it out, you ain't map it out, you ain't even moving in that direction, but that's you claiming that's a goal. Like it essentially unchecked desires, you wanting something that's not good for you, or you wanting something that you're not working towards. That's there's not going to be a positive result.
right?
That's right.
I agree with that.
That's right. She's absolutely right. And what I'm gonna do right now is something I ain't did in a long time. I'm about to pull up an internet screen, and I'm gonna show you guys something. Let's see what we got here. All right, then let's do this right here. I love how I could do this on the fly. I love how I could do this right here on the fly. Let's go in here.
One day, while swinging through the trees, Mickey stumbled upon a magical mango tree. Its branches were filled with beautiful fruits that seemed to glow with enchantment. Filled with curiosity, Mickey couldn't resist the urge to make a wish. With a mischievous glint in his eyes, Mickey wished for endless bananas. In an instant, the magical mango tree transformed into a banana tree. At first, Mickey was thrilled as the jungle became overrun with bananas. But soon chaos erupted among the animals as they fought over the excess abundance of fruit. Realizing the trouble he had caused, Mickey sought help from his friends, a diverse group of jungle creatures. Together, the animals worked on a plan to share the bananas and restore balance to the jungle. They divided the bananas among themselves and distributed them to other animals, showing cooperation and teamwork. Slowly but surely, the jungle returned to harmony, with animals happily enjoying the bananas in moderation. Reflecting on the lesson learned about the consequences of unchecked desires, Mickey felt grateful for his friends and the importance of cooperation. The jungle returned to balance ever after.
I want to know what happened to the magic mango tree, though.
You said what?
Right.
Like, if that mango was magic, Mickey's little unchecked desires
know.
done fucked up even worse than he thought
I
they
know.
did.
I know. I know. It fucked up the jungle. And that right there, he wanted it. He wanted it. It actually happened. And
They,
it fucked up the jungle. But if it hadn't been for the animals around, it would have stayed fucked up, right? A
that's
bunch of
right.
spoiled old bananas laying around there. But then they showed
People being
cooperation.
people. Make it work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People save people. Absolutely. That was a good point of that right there.
Very much so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I want to do is ask, well, I show okay, I want to ask
Actually, T
what
didn't touch on the
what.
emotion side. We was
Yeah,
talking
but we didn't
earlier.
talk about emotions yet. We ain't going to emotions yet.
Right.
That was
He said
just
y'all ain't go
Oh,
that far yet.
yeah.
we
That was a
spoke. I'm
that was
sorry.
a side
That
note
was just my
between.
quick snippet. You just
Yeah,
missed
yeah,
it. Go.
yeah.
I see you, Jinx. Jinx on point around here.
All
Keep me
right.
straight. Keep me
Back
straight.
to
Oh, so
desire.
now I
Back
want
to
to dive
desire.
into the role of emotion and
Oh,
knowledge in shaping the perspective of our behaviors. If you didn't hear me, I said I want to dive into the role of emotion and knowledge in shaping our perspectives and behaviors.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's it.
I'll go first. I'll go first. Okay. Well, since I speak about knowledge so much and I don't speak about emotion, um I'm going to talk about how they shape us into individuals that we may not want. All right, using knowledge in the wrong way and not using knowledge for logic reasons. You know, that's the main point of knowledge is for understanding or wisdom on what's coming next. You get knowledge to learn what the shape of a triangle is. You see what I'm saying? But then you learn later in life that the triangle used in trigonometry actually equals an object, don't you?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it's the
So
strongest geometric shape.
absolutely. I would also like to say that the way that it shapes us is emotion can shape us in a bad way because you can be an emotional person on the wrong topics. You can use logic for knowledge and logic for the wrong things. People flip knowledge and logic on people just to be right in conversations. See these right here, the
That's bullshit.
I understand that, but that's what they do anyway. They do
Yeah.
that
Right.
to try to make themselves look greater than. So this is where it goes absolutely wrong in forming your personality. See, I learned to not only from my boy Saul to humble myself, um, but yet and still I learned that humbleness has to come with some kind of character behind it, and knowledge was the first person to to explain to me what what characteristic means. I didn't, if you see the word characteristic and you have no knowledge of what character is, then you're not going to understand what's going on. So by me saying that, I'm saying that knowledge and desire have a way of shaping a person, and it can shape you in a good way if you choose to use it in the right way. But if you are a corrupt person and you want to have your own truths pressed on somebody or the world, then yeah, you can it can be used as a bad thing. Emotions, I think, are a bad thing anyway. It causes people to be the dumbest that they have ever been in their life because love is one of the biggest emotions, and love, if used the wrong way, can have you doing tricks and all types of other things that you never thought you would do before.
Right.
Jinx, you look
I
like you want to
mean,
stop. Go ahead, you get
yeah.
that.
First and foremost, like knowledge. Knowledge is by definition in the dictionary facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, the
True,
theoretical or practical understanding of a subject.
true.
It's also the awareness or familiarity gained by experience of a
True.
fact or a particular situation. Now,
I
when
think
it
that leads
comes
more towards wisdom, but okay, come on with it.
toward what? I'm sorry.
That leads more towards wisdom. That right there is a misconstrue inside our dictionaries, where I tell you why people have misunderstandings of words, because what they do is they meld them together and make them almost damn near the same thing.
Well, I
That's
mean,
this fickle ass
the
English
dictionary
language that
done
we
changed
speak.
so many times over the years is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, like these are what's printed as a definition for these words, and essentially, knowledge and emotion have to have a particular balance in
Mm-hmm.
order for them both to be as effective as they should be.
Yes,
Period.
fully agreed.
Period.
Fully.
If you don't have the correct balance in any given situation of knowledge and emotion, you don't know which one to let overpower or be the stronger in that particular situation. You gonna fail and fall short every fucking time.
That's right.
Every time.
But balance is the key to everything in this world, in our life. Like it's all about balance. Because like they say,
Unfortunately.
statistically, please don't bash me world for this, but they say statistically women are emotional and men are logical, right?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. These days there's a lot of emotional ass niggas out here and
Tell the
there's a lot
truth.
of women. Like
Tell
you
the
feel me?
truth.
Like tell the truth, shame the devil, but for real. But that also leads me back to my favorite saying. I tell everybody, when emotions go up, logics go down, and vice versa. If you're too
Yeah.
emotional, you ain't thinking straight. And if you're too logical, you come off as heartless.
I would
Simple as
respect
that.
that. I would have respected that had you tweaked that quote and not be the same quote, but mean the same thing. I would have respected that right there. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't give a fuck what you what? Woo!
I,
Listen,
I would have
No,
listen. I would
I
have
agree.
respected that shit had you did that shit right there.
I
But I
agree.
love
I
it.
I
I
agree.
love
mean,
it, brother. I love it. You're right. You're absolutely right. I just wanted you to put a little tap man T twist on it. You know what I'm saying?
that is the Catman T twist. I've coined this phrase for years. I've been telling
You
people
ain't
this for
coined
years, and
nothing.
some people get it. Yes, I did. I coined that. That's mine.
You
I don't care
coined
what you
that?
say.
Really?
I coined it.
Okay.
Yes,
I want to
the
You
see your
got
actual
it.
copyright
phrase.
You
paperwork
got
right
it.
now.
Listen. I said it first. You hear me? I said
Oh
it first.
shit.
Catman T. I'm on that.
I
That's
think
it.
E40 and all them niggas are bed to differ.
We ain't talking about none of them people right now. This is our podcast.
All right, that's a bet.
They ain't
Tap
on
man
here.
T. Let's go.
Catman T.
Hey yo, at this
Emotions
time
and
right now, I
logic.
want to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. Now let me tell you something about government conspiracies. You ever notice how everything they do smells worse than pig feet in the kitchen? I can't even watch the TV without smelling the stench. Show you right. Take the word bad boy, for instance. Oh, they say it come with feces, and I believe that's the truth. Seeing that damn P. Diddler, shit, I swear, it looked like he's got Chunky Peter Pan on his hands, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, sitting there in somebody's private party, just waiting for happy hour. Why else does it rain after I mount a new horse? It's a plot, I tell you. They want you to take the bait so they can hide their shenanigans in it. And don't get started by the bright lights. You'll be bent over faster than a crackhead in a lint factory. It's a test. They're measuring your patience to see how far they can push you before you give it up. They're in cahoots with them politicians too. That's why your taxes go high every time you vote them in. It's a conspiracy to keep your cheeks tooted. Well, ain't that something? Show you right. My name's Russell, and I don't keep a blind eye to what's going on. I go around the house 2 times before I go in. Show you right.
Show
Right.
you right.
That's right. Show you right. Anyways, now I'm gonna come with a little dynamic question. I want to explore the power dynamic. When I say power dynamic, I want to explore the powerful aspects of these two issues, and I want to talk about knowledge and desire in here while it's achieving goals and success. So I want to know, can you guys understand my question? Let me ask first.
I mean,
Just repeat that
essentially,
whole
I
thing
think
again.
All right. Well, I said that I want to explore the power dynamics between knowledge and desire in achieving success in our lives or goals and success.
knowledge always gotta take precedence. Always
Okay.
gotta be number one. Desire, yes, obviously, like you was describing it earlier, it's your strong, deepest desire
Mm-hmm.
to achieve certain things, and that helps to drive you. But at the same time, you need that knowledge in order to obtain what you're trying to obtain, to get where you're trying to get, in order to fulfill those desires. So I'm gonna always say knowledge is above all of it, but in the reality of life, like
Excuse me.
I said a moment ago, it's the balance. Like you've got to find the balance
True.
with all three: the knowledge, emotion, and desire. It's, I mean, in my mind, the desire is both emotional and knowledge. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, you want something that comes from the deepest of your emotions, and the knowledge is what you're going to use to obtain it. I get all that. But at the I'm trying to say, I'm sorry, I keep getting tongue tied over here. It's no matter how much you wish for something, because people who got desires or wish for things, you can't just wish for it and think it's gonna happen. You legit have to put in the work, and in order to put in the work, you gotta have the knowledge to know what it takes to get the job done. You're not gonna send a plumber to build a house. You're not gonna send an electrician to fix your toilet. You gotta have the right knowledge to obtain what you're trying to obtain.
True. Unless you got a smart toilet.
Get the fuck out of here. This nigga here.
Oh,
Got a point though.
The smart toilet
you
going to
did
plumb
that.
itself. This shit handle itself.
Tap.
But listen,
Let me ask you a question. Would you like to go or me?
I want to go because
go.
I feel like obviously all three of these things work hand in hand. But if you take it back to the simplest form, it's like, yeah, you gotta have knowledge, and knowledge, reigns supreme. But before the knowledge, when you're a kid, you have the desire to want to do something, and that desire is gonna take you down the path of knowledge to obtain said thing that you want to do. And the emotion behind that shit is what's gonna keep you on that straight path. You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta want to do something, and whatever it is that you want to do, your want has to be so strong. Your emotion behind that want has to be so strong that it pushes you to learn as much about it as you possibly can, so you can become the best of what you can do. This nigga got fucking sound effects. I love
that.
it. But yeah. I feel
like
it. But
now I gave you a sound effect for that, nigga.
I feel that. But yeah, but knowledge is the cornerstone, but I feel like sometimes desire is where it starts. I don't think for any of, well, I don't know, but in my mind, I don't think any of us started out saying, hey, I know how to do this. Let me do more of this. You know what I'm saying? Somebody seen something that they wanted to do and they wanted to know more about it.
Did it
So,
you
you know what I'm saying? It's
me.
like knowledge, then wisdom, and then understanding. First you get the knowledge for it, you know what I'm saying? Then the wisdom behind it and the understanding helps you learn how to control, helps you know where to place that knowledge and the wisdom at the right moments in time, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. But I also feel like you also have to have the emotional intelligence and discipline in order to carry out any of it.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
I feel that too.
Okay.
I agree, Jink.
Okay. I would like to say on this topic, T hit that on the nail, man. I was about to come back and say, listen, the first thing that you do is like when I was a kid, I told you guys last week with my mother, when she asked me when I was 6 years old what I wanted to be when I grew up, I told her I wanted to be like the Fat Boys. So before I even had the true knowledge of how to get there or what it detailed of or any of that, I was mesmerized by the light.
Facts.
So that's where my desire came from. It didn't come from now that I know the knowledge of the game. It's like, whoa, do I really want to get in the game? Whoa. But yeah, it's still, it's
that desire sparked you, but that emotion drove you.
Facts.
True. All right. I don't. Okay.
I don't know. Like,
I hate emotions.
You really can't object to that because she was right.
No, I'm not objecting. I'm not objecting. What I'm saying is I use emotion in different structures. I use emotion in a couple ways. I don't use like there's only certain aspects of emotion I touch. I get angry really fast, or I get happy, or I get vindictive. Those emotions are main emotions.
All these are emotions.
And it's not really vindictive. I used the wrong word with vindictive. I think I'm more.
You went with your first mind, buddy.
Nah. T, you know me. I'm more instigatable. I like the whole antagonistic part of it. I think that's more me, antagonistic, than than that. You know what I mean? Anybody who knows me pretty much knows, yeah.
That's a better word. I say that's a better word for you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, Tat, you hit it right on the head, man, and I'm proud of you for that. That was one of the first times that you hit me with some real T shit.
I
Damn,
mean,
okay,
I
I love
look
it.
like this. I tell everybody, I just look like this. I know some shit. Like, I just look like this.
No comment. Okay, so
Mhm.
now I want to discuss whether pursuing knowledge should take precedence over fulfilling desires.
Hmm.
Yes,
That's a
absolutely.
tricky one.
Mm-hmm. I'm
I'm gonna
ready.
say yes. I'm
You
gonna
can
say
go ahead.
absolutely.
Let me hear why. Let me hear why, Jenks.
Because at the end of the day, any knowledge that I'm pursuing is going to make me a better person, and I may be able, that may make me smarter, that may bring me intellectually to a different level that's going to make my desires grow to be something even bigger and better than they was originally.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that, and I'm still, I don't know, I'm still on the fence with this one because me personally, I'm a student of knowledge. I like to learn as much about everything as I can learn, right? Because you never know when you're going to use that knowledge, when it's going to be useful. Um, mm, I like knowledge, but desires, like I said, man, I guess it depends. It really does depend on the person. Because me being a student of knowledge, like I can learn something that ain't got shit to do with what I want to do. Like I just think like that's fascinating. How does that work? You know what I'm saying? I've been like that since I was legit. My mom would tell you she hated the fact that I took apart all my goddamn Christmas toys. I needed to know how the fuck they work. I wanted to see what the inside. And then sometimes I would take whatever the fuck she bought me and make it into something else. Like I said, last week I told y'all that I wanted to be a computer engineer or some shit like that, right?
Yep.
And I did. Like that's what I want. I like knowing, like, don't get me wrong, when I say computer engineer, like they always took that when I went to, they took that as for somebody trying to work on the software side. Fuck the software side. I wanted the hardware side. I wanted to put together the motherboard. I wanted the motherboard to connect to this and that to connect to that. And then I wanted all that shit to work. But I realized that you have to have the software portion of it as well so that you can actually use the fucking computer. You know what I'm saying? So, but my drive, the emotion, if we will, if we stand on topic, the emotion behind my desire was the fact that I wanted to build the actual box. I wanted to build the computer. I wanted that computer to be built my hands, and I wanted it to do what the fuck I wanted it to do. Or I wanted to build it for somebody else and it do what the fuck they wanted it to do. It wasn't until going to college that I realized, hey, you know, this software shit is important. Like it ain't gonna work without this part of it too. Like this shit works hand in hand. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Um, I feel what you said though, Jinx, about that whole, you know, knowledge versus desire thing that we just had up there. But I'm still on the fence. I don't know which one should take precedence. Really, I don't know. It
Okay.
depends on the person, in my opinion. What up,
Well,
Carlos?
I want to
Blessings,
introduce
blessings. What's
Carlos, and I want
happening?
to give Carlos a chance to introduce himself right quick. I knew you was coming late, brother. No questions. We miss you. We love you at the same time. Let's get it started.
Already.
So, my name is Carlos Walker. I'm an artist, author, inspirational speaker. A couple few hats I wear. That's about it. That's about it.
Okay. Well, I'd like to ask you a
Next.
question since you just came up. I'm not going to get everybody to recap you. What I'm going to do is we just going to fall in suit and keep going. All right. All right. So I would like to ask you to tell me I want to talk about the power dynamic between knowledge and desire in achieving goals and success. Can you understand the question?
Yes,
Okay.
I do understand the question.
All right then.
So, when it comes to achieving success, knowledge over desire, I think you need both.
Okay.
Desire will get you past, but knowledge eventually you'll need in order to open up certain doors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I move off purely desire. I ain't even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But now, even now, it's a strong desire within me, an innate spirit. Yeah, look, I
We in the
understand.
same boat.
Yeah, but then there is a certain knowledge that comes that you have to start learning, and in you learning the knowledge, it gets you to weaving you. Matter of fact, desire is more like shooting a 12 gauge. Knowledge, when you add the desire with the knowledge, you're now pinpointing where you want to go, and you're aiming, and it turns into the single bullet
Mm.
that penetrates more stronger.
Mm.
Best way I can put it.
Okay.
So for me, I need both instead of, and I understand what desire can get you. It gets you through doors now,
Mm-hmm.
but in order to really truly penetrate, you're gonna have to kind of like get into that
Behind
scope.
it. Yep. Get the knowledge behind it. Absolutely. Jinx, you got
Yeah,
anything to say? You got anything to say about his answer? Tat, you got
I
anything to say
agree.
about his
I
answer?
agree wholeheartedly. I mean, yeah, knowledge is going to give you the hyper focus and the means to make a more powerful impact. Definitely.
Okay. Now we're gonna discuss whether pursuing
I
knowledge
love
should
the
take
analogy.
precedence.
That's what I
Excuse me, what
love.
you say?
That's what I love. I agree. I agree with what he said, and I
Okay.
love the
I
analogy.
heard you. I
It's
heard
like
you the first
12
time.
gauge. Boom.
Now I want to talk about which ones should take precedence. Should knowledge take precedence over desire in accomplishing your goals? And I believe my brother touched on that. I believe I touched on that earlier. What I want to hear from is I want to hear from Tat and Jinx.
I actually just touched on this as well. I think knowledge is definitely above.
Yeah, you did. You said knowledge is king. You said knowledge is king. I'm the one that said my desire leads me
I got
to
it.
learn knowledge after the fact. And then Tat said his desire leads him to want to learn more about his desire, which leads him to further throughout his
Right.
goals.
Because in my opinion, desire is where it starts, and then from there, you know where the fuck you going. Pretty
Okay.
much, like
Yep.
like, don't get me wrong, knowledge is definitely, like somebody said, my sister said, I want to say, is the cornerstone. Like, that's definitely a foundational piece. Gotta have that piece right there, otherwise you ain't going nowhere. Like, basically, back to what Jinx said. Don't let Tevin Campbell said it, nigga. Don't let come to dreamers but dreams. You feel me? Like,
Mm.
if you wishing and wishing and wishing, and you ain't seeking no knowledge behind that wish, you just fucking wishing for shit. You sitting there looking crazy with the rest of the damn 80% of the people out there in the world. If
Okay.
you're trying to be great, you gotta follow that desire into some knowledgeable path. You gotta go learn
That's
from
right.
somebody,
That's right.
learn something. And right now we got all these damn computers in our hands. If you ain't learning something these days, you don't want to learn it. You don't want to. It's just
Absolutely.
something you're talking about. It's a hypothesis that's not
Absolutely.
going nowhere.
Absolutely. Anybody else got any other thing to say about this question before I move on? Because the next one is going to be controversial to the question you just answered. All right.
Uh-oh.
So now I want to consider the ethical implications on using knowledge to manipulate desires. If you need me to repeat it again, I will. I want to know the ethical implications of using knowledge to manipulate desires. You guys know what ethical is, everybody?
I
I'm
mean,
going to the
Just
definition as we
but
asking.
speak. I know what it
Just
means,
asking.
but
Just asking. Okay.
see, so me personally, I'm gonna say if you're using knowledge to manipulate something, that's not ethical at all.
That's
Period.
right.
If you're using knowledge to progress and to uplift and to enlighten so that desires can be reassessed, reevaluated, then I'm all with it. But the way you had originally worded the question, I'm gonna be like, that ain't even ethical.
Okay. Now, can I get Tat? Can I get you to go next?
so the definition of ethical is relating to moral principles or the branch of knowledge dealing with these.
Mm-hmm.
So the ethical All right. The question again
The
is what's
question
the ethical?
again is the ethical implications of using knowledge to manipulate your desires.
So, in order to have an ethical implication, you got to have some sort of morals.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ain't got that. Let's just be honest. Just like common sense, everybody ain't got that shit either. So, if you ain't got morals, there is no ethical implication. It is what it
Oh, there
is.
is. Oh, there is. Oh, there
Is
is
there?
ethical
If you
implications.
if you don't have morals,
Yes. Ethical, unethical, they all ride. They all ride, baby boy. Oh, yes,
now
there
there can be
is.
unethical if you don't have morals,
If you're,
but there
if you
can't
know,
be ethical if you
unethic,
have morals.
you know, there's a thin line between love and hate. There's also a thin line between unethical and ethical.
I agree, but listen to what I'm saying.
You
Ethical.
gonna run into a whole bunch of emotional concerns.
Thank you, Jenks. Thank you, Jenks. Thank you. That's what's really gonna lead your ethical decision. Is your emotion is gonna step up next because now you're gonna lead off how you feel about a situation, not how the situation should actually be handled in a managerial type situation.
Yeah, but you still have to have morals.
Well,
Yeah,
morals are part of being ethical.
yeah. The big part of being
Yeah, they go
ethical.
hand in hand. But my point is saying this: if you a person that lack morals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody has them. There's levels to all this shit, right?
Okay.
If you lack morals, you're gonna be more unethical, in my opinion. Not
Okay.
necessarily saying that that's
That's not
true.
necessarily true, but okay.
It's not necessarily true, but thinking about it, on paper in black and white, if you lack morals, you're gonna lack ethics about you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying. They go hand in hand, this, that, and the third. But in order for it to have ethical implications, you have
Yeah.
to have morals.
Yeah, but this
And if
question
you
leads
lack
to
those,
manipulating those desires. This question is asking about unethical situations. It's automatically. That's why I said that's why I said
okay,
it's a controversial question because it
it's
says
very
consider. It
controversial.
says the ethical consider the ethical implications of using knowledge to manipulate desires. If you're manipulating something, what are you doing? You're changing it your way.
You're
You're
changing it
using.
for what
Well,
you want it to
Yeah,
be.
hold
yeah,
on.
yeah,
But
yeah.
me, I view manipulate two different ways.
That's right. Me too. I was about to
I
go
don't
somewhere different.
always see I don't always see manipulation as wrong
Okay. I was about
because
Right.
to go somewhere
go to,
different with you.
go to the definition. The definition is two: handle or control a tool, mechanism, etc., typically in a skillful manner.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Number two, control or influence a person or situation cleverly, unfairly, or unscrupulously. Now, for me, when you are using it in the first one to handle or control, typically in a skillful manner, that means to me, I only have to use the ethical part of it to actually manipulate it right, because you
Correct.
can also manipulate this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How
Right.
do you use it, or how are you using it? Is the question to me.
If it's just and fair, then I'm with it. If it's
That's what
unjust
I'm
and
saying.
unfair, then
That's what I'm talking about. If it's just, then to me the manipulation wasn't me unfairly doing something. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I said ethical. When you use the word ethical in the first part,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't like you use the word unethical,
That's right. You're right.
unmoral,
You're right.
or
But ethics
immoral.
come in
You see
many
what I'm
different
saying?
forms. Ethics come in many different forms, and you can be ethical but unethical in the same breath.
Like you
true.
said, it's borderline.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, what I'm going to say is, I'm going to agree with my brother Carlos in a note. I believe, just like others before me, I've even heard stories from my mother say, "You fake it till you make it." If you get a job and you get this high paying job and you want
Or
that
two.
job, fake it till you make it. You know,
Yeah.
in a way, you manipulated yourself to get into that job. So ethically, you're breaking the line of being unethical and ethical anyway. But you desire to be something. And this is where it comes into flex your goals, your dreams, your wants, your needs for your life, and all how it boils down.
You have to manipulate your mind.
Yes, you have to manipulate your ass in this world right here. This is a capitalistic society, and if you don't fucking believe that you's a millionaire already,
You ain't
you
gonna
ain't
become
never
it
gonna be a goddamn millionaire.
because
Shout
it
out.
starts here. You have to
That's right.
manipulate this thing here to believe what it is that you saying that you want to see, or
That's right.
what you believe that you have already seen in your mind to become it. As
Yeah.
a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Guess what? I'm believing here what people don't see here in order to become what I see here.
That's right.
I'm an, whether people like it or not, I just manipulated my whole brain. Matter of fact, the computer. Anything you put into the computer, it starts in your mind, then it computes to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing you're doing here. It starts in your mind, you're computing it to appear here in the world. It's a
Brother,
manipulation of thought.
brother, I hold on one second,
I agree with
right
that.
quick. I manipulated my way into this right here.
Come on now.
I
Big fact,
manipulated my way into
fact,
this right here. You hear me?
big
You hear
facts,
me? A
big
prisoner.
facts. You hear
A
me?
person
You
who
hear
was in
me?
prison for a
Big
decade or
facts.
longer manipulated his motherfucking ass
What that
into
damn
getting this
sound button
goddamn
at? Give
degree.
me a
Because I
show hand
believed
clap.
it,
What that
I
clap clap
wanted it,
button at?
and I didn't give a fuck what I had to do. I was going to learn that shit and learn that shit until that professor believed I was the one. And I
Come
did.
on now.
You understand? That right there was the app, or that right there was the outstanding business student award. I was the best student in business throughout my whole entire class.
Come on.
So it's like,
My
okay,
boy.
I just want to say that this question right here, I said it was controversial because I believed in a whole different pattern. I believe that manipulation is used throughout society in every way, shape, or form to get what a person needs.
So do you believe that in obtaining that, did you do it through desire, knowledge, or emotion? Which drove it the
That was
hardest?
purely desire. The knowledge came after, because before I even thought about college, you know what I did? They gave me a test in the beginning to see where I was gonna fit in my classes. Do you know
Yeah.
my
Right,
math scores was fucking? I had to do free courses in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I'm
right,
just being honest with this shit to get my math
right.
up to par. So in other words, before I even had the knowledge of what I had to do, that desire to get that fucking degree was right there. I didn't even know the work I had to put in to get there, but it didn't
Right.
matter because that
It was your
But
desire
it,
was so
desire.
but
strong.
it still took the knowledge and the emotional drive for you to
Oh
get
yeah,
to
it
that.
took everything, man. I cried nights to get that
Absolutely.
degree, man. It's hard as hell to get that degree. You doubt
Yeah.
Listen,
yourself, and I
all
doubted my
three of
yo.
those things go hand in hand. I don't care how you chop it up, how you look at it. Desire, emotion, and knowledge go hand in hand to achieve whatever goal it is that you think you want to achieve.
True, but
That's what I
I
see.
think emotion can lead you down the wrong way quick. I think that
Not
emotion can lead you. I think that emotion can lie to you and lead you somewhere where you wasn't supposed to venture to. I believe that
but that's if
desire
you
and
leading.
knowledge will always keep you straight. There is
Hold
no
on, hold on. I feel you on that, but that, in my opinion, based off what you're saying right now, that's if you're leading with emotion. If you're leading with desire and you use emotion as the tool behind it, that's gonna keep you, like I said earlier, bro. The emotion, the passion. Let me say, maybe that's the better word.
That's a part of
The
emotion.
passion, the
Well, I
passion,
was
which is a
wondering why
part of
y'all
emotion, right?
separate
The
Oh,
desire and
hold on,
emotion. Desire,
hold on. Got too many people talking. What up, Carlos? Right quick, since you was the last person talking.
why y'all separating desire and emotion? Desire and emotion, the same thing.
No, we started the show off
There you
because
go, Jinx. Help me.
we really based the show off of a pretty well known quote from Plato that says human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge.
And desire is different than emotion, dog. It does have emotion in it, but all in the same
It has
desire.
knowledge in it as well.
Yeah, it does. All three stem off the same tree,
so
but at the same time, they are different in their own rights.
so this
I,
is what I'm saying then. This is what I'm saying then. Because emotion is a broad kind of a
Okay.
broad category. So the type of emotion that I'm talking about is passion. The
Okay.
passion
All right.
is what keeps you wanting to do what it is that you're doing, because it's gonna be days that you're gonna want to quit. It's gonna be days that you're gonna be like, fuck this shit. It's gonna be days, and that's for anybody on any road to wherever they're trying to get to. You can say nah, but there's always somewhere, even if it's the minutest part, it's always something that's gonna make you be like, I don't want to do this today. But that passion, fueling that desire to gain that knowledge, is what's gonna drive you to get to that. That's that cornerstone where my boy held up that plaque like that right there. You feel me? Like he
Right.
had passion behind that shit. He wanted to do that shit bad. That's passion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It did detail of a lot of desire, a lot of passion. It dealt with other emotions too. But yet and still,
Right.
like I said, I am bad at using some emotions. And
I
uh,
think we all are.
yeah, exactly. I would like to
Levels
clip
to this
this,
shit.
and I would like to clip this show, and we're coming to the end. And I would like to summarize key points right now. I would like for Tat, Jinx, and Carlos to give me their thoughts about what they think about how what we talked about in today's show. And Carlos, I know you came in kind of late, but just give me a roundabout what you feel about what was talked about while you were here on the show. So I'll start with Tat.
Um, I think this was a great show. I think this one might even have a part two in the future somewhere. But um, I think desire, knowledge, and emotion based off what Plato has said. Shit. After everything that we just talked about and how we broke all this down, I would have to agree with the late great Plato on what he said. The three sources where people drive from, the where people go to get where they trying to get to from. Um, but I believe wholeheartedly that it starts with desire, and then you know then knowledge, and then whatever emotion you have driving you to get there is what it is. I still believe they all work hand in hand. It's like three elements to make one thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I ain't
Jinx,
really got much more to say. I'm gonna be repeating
got you.
myself. So
Got you. Jinx, do you mind going next?
Yeah. I accept and respect everybody's opinions, and I think that I see desire a little bit differently than you gentlemen. But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, I feel knowledge is always gonna supersede or should supersede everything. It is something that
It should.
it
It should.
evolves and it involves every aspect of life, and without it we stay stuck, we stay stagnant, we stay uncomfortable, and we stay ignorant to a lot of things going on in our world and in the world. And I think
period.
have it back to the original, you got to have a balance of all three. They all three definitely form our behaviors in day-to-day life, and you've got to be able to have that emotional knowledge, you've got to be able to have that self knowledge, you've got to be able to identify what desires are fruitful and not, and you've got to be able to keep it all in one to get you where you're trying to be.
Absolutely. Carlos, let me get you to back that up for me if you don't mind.
While I am a person who desires, I do understand where Jinx is coming from. You do have to have knowledge in order to get somewhere. Uh, I desire to go to Florida. GPS is my knowledge to get there. How do I get there? If it mess around, if my GPS tanks out on me, and I got a map, I still end up where I'm going.
Mhm.
Or I may have to ask somebody. So I still will be using knowledge, but my desire or my will to get there has to be stronger for me than just my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
I feel
Okay.
that.
I would like to say, and I wish my brother, I don't know what happened to his camera, but I would like to say that yo, I love these fucking episodes we got, man. You guys are amazing. I learned something every single time about each and every one of you. And Jinx, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Knowledge is king. I say it all the time. Knowledge is king.
That's one of your phrases.
It's
I ain't
number
gonna lie. I've been
one.
saying that
Knowledge
longer
is
than
definitely king. But the fire of desire, that fire, that same one that Rick James was singing about. listen, listen. That shit is for real. So,
yeah.
in order to want to be knowledgeable about a topic, first you have to find that desire. I don't care whether you desire to be a custodian. I don't care whether you desire. I don't care what you desire. Yo, for real, it probably took hold of you before you even had knowledge of it. You knew no knowledge of the pay scale, no knowledge of how to get there, what the details of, or what he had to do. You just seen him holding that broom and he was shining bright, smiling at everybody, making you feel good for the day. And you like, yo, he got a good life. I want to be like that guy.
Right.
That's how it starts.
But had we had the knowledge at that age, at that time, to know what's real and what's fake, we might not have sparked that desire.
Thank you. You got it. But it takes time to gain that knowledge.
That's wisdom and understanding right there. Now
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
whole nother
It takes time to get that. It takes
Part
time to
two
get that
coming
knowledge.
soon.
Yeah, we can do a
right.
part two. It don't matter.
Right.
This is a definitely beautiful thing. I want to say good night to y'all. I'm about to end this shit like this. We gonna come out